Praise be to God, there is no other God except God. About a month ago, I received a message from someone with this question. Peace, bro Alban, can you show us where it is mentioned in the Quran, which month is Ramadan, please? First of all, in his message, there must be a space after the punctuation mark after the period. Second, he calls me a bro, but I refuse to know what a bro means, because I don't believe in shortening words. When we shorten words, we are disrespectful to our parents and our ancestors who taught us those words. And the Quran tells us to respect our parents. And if you're going to use English, you have to respect it for what it is and respect them for who they are. This might seem an unnecessary critique of the person who asked the question, but the fact that he does not have enough respect for the language and the people who carry that language is exactly why he fails to understand which month is Ramadan. His question is not a religious question. It is a linguistic question. Now let me give you the answer. The Quran was revealed in Arabic, and the Arabs are called the central community in verse 7 of chapter 42. And then in verse 143 of chapter 2, it says that the central community, the Arabs, serve as witnesses for the people. What does it mean to serve as witnesses for the people? It means that the Arabs bear witness what the word Ramadan means, and we accept it. So when you want to ask someone to tell you what the word Ramadan means, the Arabs serve as witnesses for that. They can tell you. If some crazy Quranists are going to put into doubt Ramadan, they must put into doubt many other things in the Quran. Can they show me which day is Friday from the Quran? Can they show me where is Mecca from the Quran? Can they show me which one is the sheep and which one is the goat from the Quran? If I claim that the skinny one is the sheep and the fat one is the goat, they cannot prove from the Quran that I'm wrong. This is because it is a linguistic issue, not a religious issue. We have to ask the Quran for religious issues and ask the Arabs for linguistic issues and ask the English for English issues. If you want to use the Quran as the only source of religious guidance, I agree. But you don't get to redefine the Arabic words. The Arabic words are defined by the Arabs. If they say that Ramadan is the 9th lunar month of the Hijri calendar, then so it is. They bear witness to that. And God tells us that they are the ones who bear witness to that. Now, just because the word Ramadan is somehow correlated with the word heat in Arabic, that does not mean that Ramadan only happens in summer, as some ignorant Quranists think. If we follow their logic, Sunday should be only when it is sunny. Monday should be when there is a moon. And the month of March should only be when we see Mars. That's not how it works. You go to the English dictionary and it will tell you that March is the 3rd month of the Gregorian calendar. And you get the answer. Similarly, you go to the Arabic dictionary and it will tell you that Ramadan is the 9th month of the Hijri calendar. And you get the answer. And because the ignorant Quranists have failed to realize that the Arabs are the ones who decide about the definition of Arabic words, they have come up with many other similar ignorant ideas. For example, some of them claim that Mecca is somewhere else, not in Mecca. Internet is full of crazy theories. If you want to know where Mecca is, it's wrong to do a deep Quranic analysis because it's not a religious question. It's a linguistic question or a geographical question. So you go to the airport in Saudi Arabia, get a taxi, and tell the taxi driver, take me to Mecca, please. And he will send you to Mecca. And you will see road signs which say Mecca. That's where Mecca is. A taxi driver knows it better than a crazy Quranists. The Quranists are abusing the knowledge of earlier revolutionaries who realized that the Quran should be the only source of religious guidance. But that's it. I agree that the Quran should be the only book of religious guidance. But if we follow the Quran, we should accept that it says that the Quran has been revealed in Arabic. It says it 10 times in 10 different verses. Therefore, you have to trust the Arabs that they know what the Arabic words mean. They speak Arabic every day. I also use sometimes less known meanings of Arabic words to prove a certain idea, but I never do it by denying the previous established meaning of that same word. For example, I might say that the word dhuhr means visible, but I never deny that the same word also means noon. So depending on what the topic of discussion is, I might use the one word or the other word, but I never deny the other. So if the Quranists can come up with an explanation which tells us why the word Ramadan and the word heat or correlate it, I'm happy to hear that. But I don't have time to listen to people who will try to prove that it does not also have the other meaning, which is the 9th month of the Hijri calendar, which is an undeniable meaning because the Arabs will bear witness to that. And Ramadan is an Arabic word. So why does it happen that people who decide to use the Quran as a source of guidance become so illogical, so out of place, so wrong? This is why. They skip steps. The Quran tells them to do the contact prayer and the zakat in the earliest verses of the Quran. They skip it, they don't apply it, and then they try to understand deeper things in the Quran. It's not possible to understand the Quran correctly in deeper things if you decide to ignore the basics. So if you don't give zakat, you cannot understand the Quran correctly. Your mind will go into many crazy directions. Give zakat, purify your wealth, purify your heart, and then you might be qualified to read the Quran honestly. You cannot build the roof of the house without building the foundation. Another reason why they come up with crazy ideas is because they are lazy. They stay all day on the internet and they become absorbed in their thoughts, so they start to question everything, including language itself. How many religious philosophers does the world need? It probably needs about 10, but we have millions these days, millions too many. They are useless, repetitive, recycled bins of old ideas, and they are not even aware that those things have been explored before. These ideas come from idiot losers who are not doing good in school, so now they have a deep desire to find a way to prove to the others how smart they are. And since there are no grades in religious discussions, they keep thinking that this is the place to prove themselves. No, if you want to prove that you are smart, go to Harvard, be a top student, and then maybe I can learn something from you. So if you have not been a top student, you are definitely not qualified for internet preaching. The best you can do is share my videos, maybe, with others, or share the Quran with others. You don't have anything new to say. It's been said before. You might be right, but if you are right, it definitely has been said before. So if you have not been exceptional outside of religion, whatever you preach inside the religion is either wrong or repetitive. So when people without knowledge speak publicly on the internet, anything they say, it is either old and right or new and wrong. We don't need new ideas like 3 prayers in the Quran, Mecca in Israel, Ramadan in summer, Jesus did not exist, Muhammad got his ideas from Persia, Jesus traveled to India and was taught by Buddhist monks. Really? God is going to send the Messiah, the chosen one, to learn from Buddhist monks? If you are lazy, you will have time to read these crazy ideas on the internet, and they will put doubts in your heart. And you can see how your doubts start from being lazy and having too much time for internet, not because these things are unclear. Lazy Quranists, full of doubts, full of personal wishes, with minimal understanding of the Quran, they cannot redefine the Arabic words. Regardless of how much they try, the road sign in Mecca is going to read Mecca, and the road sign in Jerusalem is going to read Jerusalem.